Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Coga. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you to today's live training. Now, before we get started, I want to do a quick visual and audio check. So if you can hear my voice loud and clear, please let me know in the chat box by typing in, yes, Jeff, I can hear you and see your smiley face right on the screen. So that way I know everything is working perfectly. So let me know you see the smiley face on here, because today this is a part 2, kind of follow up from last week's training where we listened to live calls, right? So we have some new calls that we're going to be listening to. So I want to make sure that you guys and gals can hear everything and see everything, because we got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be talking about this week. So on this week's training. So let me go ahead and pull up the chat box to making sure that you guys and gals can hear. Let me just confirm a couple things on here that you guys and gals are doing. Give me a second here. Where are you guys? I'm not seeing anyone typing anything in, so either you can't hear me or something is busted on our side. Oh, boom, there's the delay. Okay, cool. So what's up? Patrick says, I'm here. Man, that was a delay. That was a really big delay. What's going on, Haley? What's going on, Patrick? Again, I think I said that. KJ, what's up? What's up, Bruce? What's up, Jimmy? Welcome. I think you were on the my Instagram live rant this morning. What's up, Tracy? What's up, Edith? What's up, Coral? What's up, Mario? What's up, Arlen? KJ, and a couple other peoples that are just being like Tyrell's being cricket on there. Who else? Patricia, I think, as well. Julio, you've been quiet. Judy, what's up? Janet, Janet, both Janets, I guess. Yeah, Jan, I think you called my cell phone. And yeah, I was like literally about to start a train. So I'm glad that you're hopped on. Hopefully your business partner's on as well. Debbie, Edith, and what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, cool. All right, so this is part 2. Now I want to make something perfectly clear, okay? For the new folks that are on here, or this is the first time, or you're actually on the first time on the live training, if you're a grizzled veteran, you guys and gals will know what this training is all about. This is a supplemental training outside of the core curriculum, right? We talk about a lot of the fundamental tactical stuff inside the core online academy and training. This is a supplemental training that I do based on the feedback that y'all give me, right? So at the end of this training, and when you exit, there's going to be a survey. And what I want you to do is really grade the survey, okay? Grade the survey, okay? And grade the survey so that way we know that we're continuing to provide the best training in the actual what? Industry. Okay. And one thing that IT just threw out, yeah, so if you have a strategy question, okay, on like campaigns and stuff like that, make sure you hit me up directly. If you have a technical questions on how to set stuff up or how to find stuff in the training, call our customer support or contact them directly, okay? Because they're going to be able to help you out much quicker than I can. And for the folks who have used our tech support to like set up campaigns and do stuff, you guys and gals know that in the last, especially my grizzled veterans who's been in these trainings, you guys and gals know that I really have beefed up our technical support team, and people are just absolutely loving it. So I wish we had like a couple people on here. Like, is Ash on? No, he's not on. Okay, so let's get into kind of today's training. This is, again, we're going to talk about campaign stacking, call path control, and how we come up with campaigns throughout this training. One of the things I want to make sure that you guys and gals consider is this, all right? Consider that the possibility that we don't realize that our attitude towards something has been greatly influenced by the number of times we have been exposed to it in the past. Right? Another cliche thing is whether you think you can or can't, you're right. And it is 100% true, right? So regardless of where you're at in your entrepreneur career, your real estate career, and if you have gone through multiple, cycles in the business, what I want you to know that it has been greatly influenced by how many times you have seen it, and that ultimately controls our belief system and our ideology. And one of the ways to get past that, as I continue to tell individual, is to study beyond just simply marketing. right? Study beyond just simply direct response marketing. Study beyond simply just people in the real estate realm. Okay. And when you do that, bunch of stuff will start to occur. Like I'll tell you kind of one of my favorite books that really changed the way I run business and to change the way I market and to change the way that I sell is this particular book. And it says, have you read this book before? And we got like Jeff, great name, by the way, probably a great dude, Jeff. He said, no. So if you haven't, pick up this book. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy, How to Create an Uncontested Market Space and Make the Competition Irrelevant. And it's actually one of the best sellers when it comes to kind of business. Okay. And there's another book like Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's one of those like classic books that was written like over a decade ago. But it's a really, really good book. And there's a quote in here where I want you to pay attention. And this is where you're going to start to find out if you have your kind of your BS radar going on, where you haven't suppressed your BS radar, right? Is listen to this quote, okay? Or read this quote with me. A company should never outsource its eyes. There is simply no substitute for seeing for yourself. Great artists don't paint from others people's description or even from photographs. They like to see the subject for themselves. The same is true for great strategists. Ooh. Okay. And I remember the first time I read that, I was like, dang, that is so true. Why? Because if we're in the industry for a long time, we get indoctrinated by what our broker says. We get indoctrinated by, like before when I started in real estate, right? Like really, there wasn't a bunch of content on how to do lead generation in our industry, right? So the only thing that we can get is from like people who's been in the industry and or other people, and that was really it. Now, luckily enough for me, I was blessed enough to have a mentor that started kind of the vanity phone number industry. I don't know if you guys know about this, right? So he started. If you're local in Southern California, he was kind of like considered one of the four horsemen, right? His name is Bart Tro. He passed away now, but he started the industry and he started a company called like 1-800-NO-AGENT, right? Kind of like 1-800-FLOWERS, 1-800-CONTACTS, right? So he in the 90s he started a company called 1-800-NO-AGENT, 1-800-SOUTH-FAST, 1-800-CASH4HOUSES, and he was the actual premier direct response marketers for guys that you will actually know, the quote unquote gurus. Okay, some of those people being guys from Fortune Builder, Than Merrill, some of the old school, guys, if you know, like Preston Ely, those kind of stuff, right? They were his clients, and I was kind of the runt kid that worked with him, and he taught me a bunch of this stuff. And so I learned a lot about that. But as the industry and market has changed, this particular book really helped me out. And I'm going to explain it this way, okay? What you're learning. Okay, there's two concepts you have to understand in the blue ocean strategy. One is called the red ocean strategy. Another one is called the blue ocean strategy. You can read the stuff on the screen, but the simplest way I can tell the story is this, okay? Now, imagine like you're in the ocean, all right? And this ocean is filled with your competition, okay? And the competition that you're marketing against, all right, is the people in your, your neighbors, that kind of stuff, right? The people that are doing it and trying to attempt to do the same thing. Okay. Now, what happens is that if you're a shark in the sea and you're going after, and it's kind of weird if I use this analogy, like sellers and buyers being kind of like the fish in the sea, right? But follow along. Okay. So imagine you're the shark in the sea and you're chomping away. Guess what happens to these fishes? Okay. They get a little nibble here. The other shark is fighting with another shark. And then what happens with the ocean? It gets super bloody. Okay, super, super bloody. And if you're a smart shark, right, then guess what? You'll maybe go to the outskirt of the ocean where it's a little bit less bloody. Okay? But really, the smart, wise shark will absolutely just leave that area of the sea and go to a blue ocean where there's plenty of fishes, and they will just go chomp, 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 and eat away. Okay, so if you can think about this, the red ocean is what it says right here: compete in the existing market space. All right, beat the competition, exploit existing demand, make the value cost trade-off, align the whole system of a firm's activity with its strategic choice of differentiation or low cost. So let me break this down real quick, okay? And I'm talking about this so you can understand the kind of the overarching philosophy of why data pending augmentation and what you're learning here today, and being part of the actual program allows you to create your blue ocean, okay? Because think about what your competition is doing or what they're doing, okay? Compete in existing marketplace. Let's use an example like expires or FSBOs. How many of you, let me know in the chat box, have you cold called those expires or FSBOs? And let me know your results. Or if you know someone in your brokerage that actually does that. All right. A lot of new agents that, there's tons of people that are getting licensed and stuff like that. Guess what they do? They go like, smile and dial, baby. And they hit those up. Yeah, Sharon said crappy results. I have no 100%. Yeah, all these people hit it. Okay. And what's the concept behind that whole thing? Beat the competition, right? Become a better salesperson over the phone and I can do a power close on them. Boom, right? Okay. And what are you doing? You're trying to exploit demand, existing demand, right? So basically meaning like an expired, someone listed the property to sell, but then guess what? They did a crummy job or what something happened. And then they said, oh, I fired this person and now I'm going to work with somebody else. Okay. And make the value cost trade-off. And what are you doing? You're just pounding your chest and saying, I'm a better agent than that other person. And then the strategic choice of differentiation is what? Pounding your chest like, oh, I'm a better agent, I'm a better agent, I'm a better agent. And then, depending on your style, some people will be like, I'll sell it for 1%. Right? Like for me, that's kind of like, that's not a good business model. Right? Versus blue ocean is you create uncontested marketplaces, meaning they're not being called to, they're not being marketed to. Right? You make the competition irrelevant because the numbers game we'll talk about later on today is that it's so much in your favor that it doesn't even matter. Okay. And you create and capture new demand and you break the value cost trade-off. And then what do is you align the whole system of the firm's activity in the purest of differentiation and low cost. Totally different ideas. All right. Yeah, Hector said, dear competition, please keep door knocking. Yeah. Okay. Jake said, I make my own customized leads now. There you go. Okay. And that's part of this training where you learn how to do that, right? Where you learn how to create your own customized data sets and leads that you only have. Okay. And that is the blue ocean. I'm not saying that the red ocean strategy doesn't work. Okay. There's plenty of people I know that pound the phones on, FSBOs and expires and make a decent living. Okay, but the folks who have done it, you guys and gals know that you're constantly competing now, especially if you're in like a metropolitan area. Whew, yeah. Okay. To a point where I have some private clients that are big brokers, and that's what they do. And they're running some challenges because they didn't pivot quick enough. Okay. So any questions so far before we go into the overview? I'm going to cover the basic system and we'll start getting into kind of the calls. Let me know what's up. What's up? Cool. Love the book. Yep. Get the book. Yeah. Audible, probably that's the best one, especially if you're like driving, going to see clients, right? Pop that in there and you'll be good. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy. The other book is by Jim Collins, Good to Great. Yeah, Good to Great. Those are classic books. Yeah, I like to study, older books, not the new age stuff, because what I tend to realize is the new age stuff and new books are typically derivatives of the old school stuff, right? Like Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. And then because of Jim Rohn, someone named Tony Robbins came around, right? Okay. And then there's a bunch of other people. Okay. So like I love Jim. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the quick system overview, right? What do? We go raw data. Okay. Like property address, owner records, which you can get for free through your MLS. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Okay, try not to pay for raw data. Get it through your MLS for free or get it from your title company. Okay, I'm always a firm believer that you shouldn't pay for raw data. All right, get it from there. And then you do some data appending. Now, the key here is in the training, we talk about tier 1 data, making sure that you have credit header data, meaning that you're using the best data source to get the best phone number. Okay. And if you do that, plus marketing, in our case, we do the DBC, then when you understand that, boom. With data appending, you no longer have a lead generation problem. You'll have absolutely a conversion and follow-up problem. which is a great problem to have. Would you agree? There's absolutely no lead generation problem. And I have my IT folks says, yeah, you can go IMAP, MLS, Realist, and you can export it. And IT can actually help you as well. Yeah, they can help you pull it. Okay, remember that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, like there's the foreclosures you can pull through your MLS like free. Like some people are paying for it. I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? Okay, and then you can request from title as well. All right, title can help you. So first part I want to cover is this marketing component. Then we're going to kind of backtrack and go to data pending stuff, and then we'll listen to the live calls. Okay. So the basic system is simple. We go DVC message because you have the targeted list, right? The custom blue ocean list. You do an inbound call campaign and the calls come in. And then what do? You either answer the call yourself or you can answer it for whatever reason. I highly recommend individuals in the beginning to answer. Remember what we talked about, okay? A great artist, what? Paints from their own eyes. They don't leave it up to someone else's pictures or someone else's description. Okay. So if you want to be a great strategist and then a great business owner, you want to feel it in the beginning yourself. So that way you can delegate it. Another way is if you know, in the book E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber talks about the idea of management by application, meaning many times as entrepreneurs that we're trying to grow our business, we try to delegate things that we don't have a full 100% understanding of. And especially the KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. And when we try to pass that on, then that's where the issue runs into. All right. And especially in our business, those are, you know, big things. Okay. So now if you cannot answer, it goes to the voice message. If they leave a voice message, well, guess what? You call them back. All right. Now, if they text message you, you text them back. Okay, if you can't answer and it's just simply a missed call, what do? You call them back. And that's really the quick, simple overview of the system, right? And again, kind of another way to look at it is option number one is taking the call, talk to them, right? Very simple, talk to them, okay? Option two is you can let it go to voicemail as well, okay? And the people who leave a message, you call them back. Now, the advanced system, and I know I'm going through kind of quickly on this, but it's all in the training, okay? It says, Jeff, yeah, this is a kind of refresher, okay? Is a phone number needs to be able to get text back and take inbound calls. And I tell individual, never use your cell phone as a caller ID on your DBC message. Why? Because you want to track this, right? KPIs, analytics, know your numbers, okay? Never use your cell phone as the message callback, same thing. And we focus on multiple conversions plus multiple touches. And I'll explain why a little bit. But we get multiple phone numbers for outbound and inbound and send multiple different messages to the same list. And side note, we used to outsource the virtual call center. Okay, but our inbound plus outbound, but currently we have brought it in-house. Okay, now why did we do that? Is because we've started to discover that we want to implement multiple different things, and some of our clients wanted our team to do that, and I just wanted more control, so we started bringing it in-house. Okay. So the advanced system kind of looks exactly like this. The only difference is these green boxes. You guess what? You delegate. Okay, we have kind of how to delegate, how to hire the best people, right? In the training, we talk about that. But one thing I want you to consider is this, okay? These green boxes this is where the rubber meets the road, meaning that this is the money-making conversation. Like one call, talking to someone that says, yes, I want to sell, right, is what? Can easily be worth, depending on where you're at, a couple grand. Would you agree? So if that's the case, why would you want to have someone that's not great take that call? Might as well you take the call so you can get better as a salesperson, right? You can get better on the phones. You can become a better communicator. You can become a better persuader, influencer. Okay, so any question on this? Before I go into kind of the next question, this is a question from last week's survey I want to answer. No, great stuff. Thank you for feeling cool. Missy, what's up, Missy? So the other question we get asked is what list should I append and augment? Okay, and we just finished up our monthly, beta data pending, right, for the folks with the tier 1 numbers that we finally for a long time took, and we were able to do, and we finally starting to master it now. You can get tier 1 data literally close to like tier 3 prices, which is amazing. So we started this, and so for the folks who didn't make it on time, I try to give my notifications, but if you didn't make it, make sure to send in your application, because some of you guys didn't get your application in, so that's why you didn't make it in time, or you didn't send over the list in time because you weren't sure on how to get the list when you didn't even pick up the phone and call our tech support. Okay? Because if you just simply pick up the phone and call our tech support, we're going to get an assigned tech support rep that can help you out, and they, as I said earlier, they can help you pull the actual data out. Okay, through the MLS, IMAP, Realist, right? Like you already pay for it, so they can help you pull it out and things like that. Okay, so what list should I append and augment? Jimmy said, how do I get the application? You can email our customer support, WeCare@realestatestrategylab.net with the subject line data app, and they'll send it to you. And for a side note, when I say data application or data app, it's not like a mobile app. Yeah, we had someone asking, like, do you have a mobile app? No, it's not a mobile app. It's like an actual application you have to fill out. Okay. So let's talk about what list should you append, all right? So in the training, we cover kind of the generic list, okay? This is what I call kind of the boilerplate list of sellers, okay? Now we have some buyer ones, but we want to talk about sellers, okay? Is what, like eviction, tax lien, expires, canceled, FSBOs, absentee, inheritance, pre-foreclosures, foreclosures, probates, property violation, divorce, post-divorce, bankruptcies, okay? So depending on how long you've been in the business or how much marketing you have done in the business, then you guys and gals will know that this is kind of the boilerplate list. All right. This is kind of the red ocean. All right. I'm not saying that you can't make good money in the red ocean. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. You can absolutely can. Okay. But for longevity and for more of ease in terms of competition, you want to create a blue ocean. So let me explain why this is kind of a red ocean, okay? And it all has to do with this amazing looking chart that you see on the screen, okay? Where I explain how not all leads are created equal. And clearly this is not drawn to scale. But on the left, you have people what I like to call might want to do business later. And then on the right, you have I'm ready to do business today. Okay, like today. And you have literally 4 phases in this. Phase 1 is people like sellers. I'm going to use sellers for an example, right? They don't even know they got a problem. Like, yeah, what problem? Phase 2 people is I can handle my own problem. All right. Phase 3 is I'm searching for answers. Phase 4 is I need you to come save me now, people. So like use an example like expires, right? So someone expired and it was just way overpriced, and they're like, I can handle my own problem, which is I'll list it myself. So an expired then turns into a FSBO, right? And then you list it and they still can't sell it. Okay. And then they're finally like, I'm searching for answers. Okay. And like, what did I do wrong? Is my pricing off? Like, what can I do? Right? Is my pictures like whatever it is, right? And then finally they realize, damn, that's a lot of work. Maybe I should pay that commission, right? And I need you to come save me now. Okay. Now, so the question I always ask people is like, which one would you rather pick? If you have to only work on those leads and your long-term business depends on it, which one would you rather pick? Here's the key, your long-term business model. Which one? Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Which one would you rather pick to stay in the business for a long time? Okay. We got some mixes. We got some grizzled veterans who answered. Okay. And I'm going to answer with majority of you guys who haven't been part of the training will say phase 3 and phase 4. Okay. They'll say, I'm searching for answers. I need you to come save me now, people. The people who have been in like my trainings and who I've talked about it, you guys and gals knows you prefer to go after phase 1 or phase 2. Right? Because what you'll discover is in here, phase 1, what problem? You'll discover some of these people are in here. They just don't know they have a problem. Or even these people are in here. I'm searching for answers. They're in here. And what you're about to see on the following chart that I'm going to show you on why that's so important, okay? Because these leads here are the most competitive and the most expensive type of leads that you can go after. All right. Because take a look at this. Okay. And again, you have to know your local marketplace. I know mine very well. So if you look at this kind of list, right? Like, for example, talk about like expireds, right? How competitive is it in your marketplace? Everybody's pounding them, canceled, FSBOs, and things like that, right? Okay. So which phase are this list right here, right? The quote unquote motivated sellers. Which phase is it? Well, if you answered kind of like, hey, phase 3 and phase 4, I know I'm going kind of fast because I want to get into the live calls, you're absolutely right. Okay, phase 3 and phase 4. But here's the opportunity and challenge, okay? Here's another chart. And this is where, please understand, this is where you turn from an amateur marketer to a professional marketer, right? Because everybody else is going after these folks up here, right? Phase 3 and phase 4. But the challenge and issue, and this might be hard to see, I should have probably blown it up, is that the level of competition goes up, okay? And then the interest level of leads needing you go this way. But the number of records goes down this way. All right? Meaning that these phase 3 and phase 4 have a limited finite amount of records. Would you agree? How many foreclosures are there in your local marketplace? How many probates are there on your local marketplace? How many expires are there in your local marketplace? How many FSBOs are there in your local marketplace? How many property violation lists do you have in your local marketplace? All right. How many divorces do you have in your local marketplace? Okay. And depending on your local marketplace and depending on who you're competing against, right? That blue ocean is not blue. It's a red ocean. This is like red. All right. So this is what I mean by you work on this to make now money, right? But simultaneously, you want to run multiple campaigns to start focusing on this, the phase 1 and phase 2. Because as I said, what level of competition is super low. And keep this in mind. This is the big one right here. The cost of data pending does not change. It stays flat. All right. Versus if you were to use something like, let's use foreclosure, because in certain states, foreclosure are now starting to pop back up. Okay. Like NOD, notice a default is filed, list pendants is filed. Now it's kind of like, dang, I'm searching for answers, or depending on where they're on the foreclosure process, I need to come save me now, people. So let's just say you append the data here, the cost is the same, but guess what? If they don't sell, like the home doesn't get sold right, or it gets foreclosed on, guess what happens with the actual data set that you got, the leads? It gets boom, it gets expired. Versus if you get it early, as time changes motivation, guess what? You got them, right? It's you're either first in line or last in line to typically get a deal, okay? So we started to focus on that. Okay, now let me give you some couple examples of stuff you need to like pay attention to, right? And this is what the new training update for 2019 is, the new campaign, right? Like I talk about get your money out of the market campaign. People who bought between what? 2010 and 2015. Why? Principal residents, that they live there. Why? Because they got equity. Doesn't really matter where you're at in the country. Typically, if you bought between 2010 and 2015, and they'll have equity. All right, they'll have equity. Here's another one, first-time home seller campaign. So use that same scenario. Anyone who bought a home between 2010 and 2015, principal residents, but at that time when they bought it, it was an FHA loan. Why? Because they're typically first-time home buyers at that time. So when they decide to sell, they're easy to work with. Can anyone guess why they're easy to work with? Yeah, you got it. Got some sharp people in here. Yeah, which is they've only dealt with one real estate agent as a buyer's agent. All right. Yeah, less sophisticated, 100%, versus somebody else that lives in like Beverly Hills or something like that, right? They didn't get to where they're at typically by not knowing nothing. Most of them are, you have to speak to them in a different way, right? Work with them in a different way. Same thing like if you're doing commercial real estate, right? Side note, Tech said, yeah, we have access to CoStar and we pull data for commercial real estate as well, like apartment buildings and stuff like that, mixed use and things like that as well. So you got to be aware of that. Okay. Here's another one. You look and talk like me campaign. This one's kind of interesting. All right. And I'll tell you a kind of interesting story, right? So one of our students, right, sent in a list to us, right? He got it from a title company, and they sent in I think I want to say like 15,000 records. Okay. You might be like, dang, you either say, whoa, that's small, or whoa, that's big, right? So they send us 15,000 records, and they just got literally like couple zip codes of the people, everyone that lives there, like principal residents. Okay. During that time, like I told you, right? This time and this time they bought. So we know they have equity, like 2010, 2015. All right. Are you following along? Let me know if you're following along, because this is really important to understand. This is what's possible with the blue ocean strategy. Yeah, someone said Costa Hawkins. Yeah, that was last year. Cool, following. Okay. So we pulled that, and then what they did with our data scientists, and luckily enough they called in. Okay, so our tech team was able to help them out. So what they did and discovered and helped them out is that they bumped the last name against the Census Bureau, the most common surnames. Can anyone guess why they did that? Most common names, right? The campaign is called "You Look and Talk Like Me" campaign. That should be a hint. Okay, I'll give you the answer. It says, I'm confused. Imagine, yeah, Julio got it. Dang, yeah, yeah, is language. Okay, looking for specific ethnic groups. Yeah. All right. Why? Because if you speak another language, wouldn't it make sense to bump up, like if you look and talk like them, to bump up your data sets with that individual, and then append that data set and go after them? All right. So we've done this with Spanish campaigns, right? We've also did it with like removing non-English speakers. Okay, meaning that this particular area that they were going after was heavy Asian speaking people. Okay, I'm Japanese, so I can say it, right? Like Nguyen's, Trans, Lees, and Hungs and stuff. Okay, and I just and asking him, he's all like, yeah, he didn't speak that, so it was just like, boom, remove all of them. Okay, that's what we did. How about another one? You look and talk like me, right? As if you understand this, right? You can do so many things. Like, and again, you have to know your local marketplace, right? That's something that our tech team can't really help you. They can ask you questions, right? So imagine if you wanted to go after a community of 55 plus people. Okay. Well, certain areas, there's neighborhoods that are with an HOA, with the policy of only people that are 55 and plus can live here. Well, why don't you append all that neighborhood? Okay, here's another one. Based on how long someone has lived there. Okay, my IT center, I missed one. Yeah, which is Arlen said, yeah, you have to make them feel comfortable. Yeah, so you guys are starting to get it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so there's another one called the Baby Boomers with Stairs campaign. Okay, where we look at how long they've owned the property for, and we look at how the structure of the building is built, if it's 2 stories or not. Why? Because as you age, all right, and I don't know if you have dealt with this or not, okay, is that you don't want to go upstairs. You just don't want to go upstairs. Why? Because your health is deteriorating at a certain age and you can't go down. So hence, if you pay attention to developers and what happens with 55 plus communities, most of those homes are what? Single story. Okay. So you can go after individuals that own that and then boom, market to them, append the data, market to them. Yeah. Empty nesters want no stairs. You got it, Missy. Here's a brand new one, right? For the last 2 years, ADU campaigns. This is a California specific one, okay? So your state you have to know. So this is another one where last year, really we were doing like, this is what I call coattailing kind of like legislation. So Costa-Hawkins was a huge one last year where it was on the ballot for rent control. So we would use that to go after people with absentee owners. Okay, but the ADU in California still exists. So basically, you can make an auxiliary dwelling unit on top and turn kind of a single family into a quote unquote legal duplex, and you can use that income for when you actually qualify. The new buyer can use that income to qualify for the house. That's a huge thing. Here's another one: 1031 exchange campaign. All right. Here's another one. Okay, probably stuff you have not. I know people don't have not heard of this. Okay, which is what the property taxes drop campaign. Melrose or what? CFDs, right? Community facility districts, right? The bonds that they have for what? Cities, counties, and special districts, right? The school districts. Some are what? Do you guys know how long those bonds are for? Let me know in the chat box. Melrose. Yeah, CFDs. How long are those? Oh, come on. Jeff. See, I like Jeff. Jeff's to 20, 30 years. Yeah, you got it. So now imagine like you can, based on the year built, okay, year built of the home, you can figure out when those things are going to expire. You can play off that. All right. Play off that. You call them up and you're the one that's giving them the great news. Right. And depending on where they're at, like for California, it's a huge deal, right? Okay. So other states, some certain pockets, it's a huge, huge deal as well. Okay, because that amount that expires can turn into a property, like they couldn't leave the house, or they didn't want to sell the house because they wanted to rent it out, but they couldn't rent it out because of the property taxes. But then boom, that gets removed and the property starts cash flowing, right? All right. Here's another one, okay? Lots too small campaign. So you purposely go after the small lots. How about this one? 90 plus year old house campaign. So you actually take a zip code or multiple zip codes and you just go year built and you just hit homes that are 90 plus years old. Okay. Why do you want to hit them? Because you know those homes are going to start to deteriorate and break down, even if they've been rehabbed in the last 2 years or 3 years. For the folks who have done rehabs, you guys and gals know that, right? You rehab it, but something goes wrong on a 90 plus year old home. How about this one called Rinky Dink campaign? All right. If you're in an area with high developers or investors doing additions, all right, they always market big lots, small houses, big lots, small houses. Why do they do that? So they can do additions to it. All right. Or knock the house down and build like a brand new construction home. But if you want to simply get the commission side, okay, and that's what you're after, you can go after what no one goes after, which is the Rinky Dink campaign. Now, why is that powerful? Is because if you market to them, they're seeing their neighbors, right? Homes that are being sold. That's number one. And then they see that homes are being developed around them. But they don't understand what? Setbacks. They don't understand roof floor ratios, right? And how much actually home you can actually build on it. And so when you start getting a conversation, you're bringing more value to them. Okay. And then another one, okay, natural disaster area campaign. Okay, as when Texas, right, got hit, people ran campaign for that. Same thing in like Florida, ran campaign for that. Northern California, when the fires happened, ran campaign for that. Central California, same deal. Okay, all right. So there's so many campaigns. Is that making sense? Let me know, and why I'm saying, hey, go after phase 3, phase 4. Well, you can run multiple different campaigns with the blue ocean strategy. Okay. Bill said, I'm really good at expireds. Should I stop that? No, you shouldn't stop that. But what you could do is, if you're already good at that and you're already converting deals, right? Regardless of where you get your expired data, most likely you're paying for them, okay? There's going to be a data set where you don't have phone numbers. So if you don't have phone numbers, that company that's giving it to you, they're typically using what? tier 3 phone numbers. So if you simply append the numbers, that means you're going to be able to get better contact ratio because you have better numbers. Okay. So it's not a brand new blue ocean, but you're in the outskirt of the red ocean. Yeah. IT said, yeah. Here's a campaign, Lake Elsinore. Okay. Did one campaign during the flooding and the fires. Okay, there was a fire, right? Natural disaster, there was a fire, big deal, right? And then because now it's been raining with the floods, okay, we've been marketing and running campaigns there, and one of our team agents got 2 listings out there. Okay, so it works. Okay, so any questions before we go into live calls? And I took way longer than expected covering this, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you got some value. Let me know if you got a value out of that. Yeah. Yeah, so here's another one. Expireds, IT said this, expireds, go back and go wide. Yeah, which is, if you want to do that, yeah, data set, go back to all your old expires and rerun it, and you're good. Yeah. Okay, so the first one we're gonna listen to is called Parking Issues and Little Bit Equity. That's what the call. This is kind of the hint of the call that we're going to talk about. These are actual real calls with real sellers that our team, acquisition team, are actually speaking with. Okay, that you get to listen to. Now, there are some couple rules when you listen to this, and if you've been part of these call, listening training, you guys and gals know this. Okay, what I want you to do is imagine yourself as the call center manager. Now, why am I telling you that? Is because remember earlier I showed you kind of the advanced way of delegating it off, those green boxes, right? Those are the levers for a hot, yes, it's the most highest paying activity because one call can be a couple $1,000s, but you want to listen to it as if you are a manager and managing it. So that way you can grade the call on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being poo-poo and garbage, 10 being the greatest call you ever heard. And then what I want you to do is make sure to give the reason on how they can improve. All right, type I understand if you know that, and type that in the chat box, okay? Barb said, I get anxiety listening. Yeah, the last week one was pretty rough. Yeah, because there was a one that was like really kind of long that we played, right? And it was kind of like, whoa. And then every single time I listen to it, I'm just like, So, all right. So here we go. This call is 2 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm going to play it. As it starts playing, if you can hear it, let me know in the chat box by saying, yes, I hear it. And then grab a piece of paper, put some notes down, okay? Please do this exercise, okay? Do this exercise. This is the part of being able to be self-aware, okay? So imagine like you do this on your own calls. How much better you would be in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How much better would your staff be if you coach them up like this? All right, so here we go. Can you hear? Let me know in the chat box.
I'm sorry, who is it? How long did I just call you today?
Yeah, here, let me see. Let me look at what time. 5:26? Yeah, so like a couple minutes ago.
Would you happen to own a property in
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would you happen to own a property in
I do.
Okay, yeah, so I did call you. The reason for my call was I was calling to see if you had any interest in selling the property.
Oh, selling the property?
Yeah, and selling the property.
Are you like a realtor or something, or?
Yes, sir, I am. My name's I'm a local realtor in the area.
Oh, okay. What's the name?
I apologize.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No worries. At the moment, the house isn't for sale. However, I've had the thoughts just because in the area, the parking situation, and it's just kind of one of those type of things. So, I do have some equity in the house, so it has crossed my mind, but I'm not really there yet. But if you want to give me your contact info, and maybe when I am ready, I can give you a call or something.
Okay, sure. Let me ask you this, Daniel. Let me see. Do you have an email address?
I do.
Okay, let me see. Can I get that?
Yeah, sure. And then what was the name of the realty company you're with?
I'm with. I'm right here in Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, okay. How'd you get my number?
Man, you know everything's public records nowadays.
Yeah.
I was just calling homeowners in the area because I had a couple buyers who was looking. But I'm dialing so fast, man. What's your property address?
I live off of Nevada Street.
What's the full property address? I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
So
okay, what is it? Go for it.
Okay, so it's one.
All right, so I don't know what happened to the rest of the call. It kind of shut off. Yeah. All right, so let's grade this call. 1 being the worst call you ever heard, and then the 10 being the greatest call you ever heard. So let me know in the chat box which one. Type it in the chat box and give a reason on how they can improve. Okay, let's do that right now. Okay. Some reason it got cut off on this. Yeah. Ooh, come on. We got some people like people are not putting it in there. Yeah. So what happened with the call? It just got cut off. Yeah. So. All right, so let's talk to hold on here. Where's the hold on, let's see here. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Hold on, where are you at, man? Jimmy, where are you at? Jimmy, I know you gotta hold on, where are you at? Hold on. Jimmy, are you there?
Jeff, what's up, man?
What's up? Say hi to everyone.
Hey, what's cracking, everybody?
Yeah, so it's just Jimmy. You heard this call. You heard it. So what's your take, Jimmy, on this call? And if he was part of your team and you heard this, how can you coach him up? You know, first off, what would you grade him first? Let's give him a grade.
I was gonna give him a 4, but I kind of gave him a 5 because he got the info. You know, he got the property address and he got an email address.
Mm-hmm.
So but based on getting the information, it's going in the right direction.
Okay.
But I think off the top he was a bit abrasive. Like, hey, did you call me or when? He was kind of like going, you know, just kind of being not as soft as I would have been. You know, and I felt like there was I didn't take the note down, but there was a window there where he could have led the conversation a little bit, and he kind of cut most of that stuff off and went straight for the kill, as I would say, you know. And I think there's a window. Yeah, the parking issue, exactly. It was there, and that parking issue could have gone a long way. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That was his pain point. It says parking issue.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, how many cars you got? Right? Like, what are you talking about parking issue? Like, even if you don't even know the property, right? Like, you can at least ask that question.
Right. Like, you know, are there a bunch of neighbors with cars? I mean, who's bothering you? Do you want a bigger driveway or 2-car garage? Or what's going on? You know, just all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, right. Because you don't know if he's a car guy and he has bunchable cars, or like you said, it's a neighbor is the one that's parking all on the streets, or right. Like you just don't know. He just said parking issues, you know. So and then the other one when he says, yeah, I kind of have a little bit of equity, and the term I think he used was I'm waiting. Like
and then you go, what are you waiting for? Is the question, you know?
Yeah. What are you waiting for? And then you know, like, hey, you said a little bit of equity. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, maybe
at least find out where you get the number from. Right?
You don't know. Maybe there's a lot of equity. You think it's a little bit. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Jimmy, if you were on this call instead of this gentleman, do you think you might have been able to get a little bit more information, or maybe be able to even set an appointment?
No doubt. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Any other feedback? Any other questions you have?
No, I'm good. I have my brother here with me. He's gonna.
What's going on?
my team. Alex, say what's up. Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, Alex?
Kind of been working with my mom, taking some of her work off, but I think we're gonna really work on getting some campaigns out. You know, build this.
Rock it. Okay, so I hear some little feedback, so I'm going to mute you there. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for the contribution. Let's see here. What other? I'm going to read off a couple of other ones because I want to get through these calls, okay? But the huge one I want to make sure that you guys and gals are aware of, right, is I would grade this call legitimately a 2. Okay, you might think like, whoa, like you're kind of harsh, Jeff, but right, what? Yeah, like I basically, after I heard this, right, I was just like, dude, this is garbage. Okay. A little rough around the edges. Like you need to be asking the questions. Like and getting an email, dude. Come on, like really? Like you want to get an email? What's the point of getting an email? Okay. You want to find out and really find out the pain point. Like the guy told you, right? Like parking issues, little bit of equity, right? What are ways that you can get equity? Heck, find out what kind of loan he has. Maybe his credit got better. Maybe you can do a rate and term refi and drop it and get more. You know, like you get what I'm trying to say, drop his payment and then maybe that'll allow him to rent that out and buy a new one. Heck, maybe his payoff amount he doesn't even know. Maybe his numbers that he's running on, right? Like there's so many scenarios on bigger questions you can ask. But it wasn't done. It just went for simply, hey, let me get your email. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. All right. And if you start to guess, the name of the call has some hints to it. Okay. If you didn't guess. All right. If you didn't guess. Yeah, Jeff got it. Yeah, ask more questions, get more details. You didn't even go to the kill. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, and for the folks that are wondering, you know, the address, right? Like, don't get caught up on this, okay? Of the address. And for the folks who have done like direct mail, you guys and gals will know this, is that sometimes you get calls from sellers or buyers that you don't even know what property they're talking about, but it's your ability to be able to find out, boom, how you can help them out. Right? Like, don't get caught up in the address so much. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's a skill set you have to develop. Like, you can't be like caught up. Like, sometimes people get so focused on that. Be like, what address? Well, let me pull it up. And you spend like freaking 10 minutes trying to figure out what address it is. In reality, you know, like you can just ask questions and you can find out, hey, is there a real necessity? Okay. So cool. Let's go and let's go to the next one. This one's called, all right, okie dokie. I got my tax man calling me soon. Call. Okay. All right. So again, imagine yourself as a call center manager. You'll grade the call on a scale of 1 to 10. Make sure to give the reason on how they can improve. Yeah. Jake said sounded more personable, like he marketed to everyone. Yeah. So here we go. And this call is a little bit longer. Okay, 17 minutes. Okay, but I want to pause it throughout this and ask you questions. So again, if something pops up where you're like, ooh, he could have done this or that, okay, like type them in. Okay, so here we go.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. My name is. You called me yesterday about. I have a property I'm interested in selling.
Yeah, I wanted to check.
Now, did you hear what the seller said? Call me yesterday. Okay, so if you pay attention, right? DBC message, and then they heard it, and then they called back. All right. Okay, so you get kind of the landscape.
Check in with you and see if you had any plans and what you were kind of doing with it.
Yeah, we're looking to sell property on, and I was wondering what are you giving per square foot, or how are you guys going about determining your?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll take a look for you, and I can give you an idea here.
Did we cover this one last week? Let me know.
Let's see, did you have it listed with an agent already?
No, I do not.
Give me 1 second. I'm actually pulling up your property now. Taking a look here. 1 second. All right. So, okay. Let's see where this one is. currently right now, it looks to be, depending on what updates and different things that you have going on with the property. I don't know, this was just based on square footage. My value estimate for your property came out to about $597,000. About $597,000.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause this. We got it says Haley said, yeah, I did this last week. Okay, yeah, so this is the WAG number one. Yeah, so for this is the one where everyone was kind of like super long. And remember, we were just like, yeah, we need to get the appointment. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Okay, now Jimmy, I think you're like commenting good. Go listen to last week's training and you can listen to this call. This one's called "I'm looking for a deal, not a steal." Great. I believe we didn't cover this one. So this one's 6 minutes long. Okay. Yeah, price per square feet is not important. Yeah. Really not. Even in the for the folks that says in commercial is price per square feet. No, it's not. Like cap or gross multiplier, like it really isn't. Yeah, it's based on income.
Good evening. This is.
Oh, hi, dear. Somebody
Hi.
just. But hi. How can I help you?
That was me that just gave you a call, and I was giving you a call. I'm a realtor here, and I'm working with you. And we wanted to know if you took a look at a cash offer for yours.
Okay, which property are you talking about?
Specifically, they were talking about the property but specifically they were talking about that property. However, like I said, they're in the market, so if you have some other ones, they'd also be willing to take a look at those as well. Are you open?
Okay. What are they looking at price-wise?
Fair market value. They're looking for a deal, not a steal.
Okay, so obviously you've done some research on the property.
A little bit. What I do, because they're looking for a lot of properties. What I do is I kind of narrow it down to maybe like 15, 20. And you and I both know that like of those 15 to 20, maybe 13 of those people will tell me go away. So of the two, once I talk to the people who are willing to talk with me, then I do an in-depth analysis and then I contact you back with that information so that I can speak intelligently. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
And but I'm going to be out of the country tomorrow. I'm back on the 28th.
Okay. Where are you going?
We covered this one too.
I'm just out of the country. I don't tell people where I'm at.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
Just asking because international travel is awesome. I went to Costa Rica last year, so
that's okay.
I totally tell you. Okay, so not a problem. You'll be out of the country. When will it be good to follow back up with you?
Okay, so you can touch base with me, say next Monday. I'm actually going to be in.
Okay.
I'm actually going to be there on a Saturday, and then I'll be back on Sunday.
Okay, so it would actually be possible to physically view the property on Saturday. The
thing is, here's my situation. I have some friends that were in some financial difficulties, and so we've allowed them to stay in the property until they can get their feet on the ground or up and running.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
So I really, and they actually just got there last week. They moved down from.
Okay. So this is kind of brand new. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I can do, not a problem. Everything is workable. What I can do is I can put together the analysis. Would you prefer that I call you back? Would you prefer that I email it to you and then call you back?
What works best for you? I'll give you my email address because we'll be out of the country for the next couple days. It's
Love it. All right. And let me confirm that I have the accurate address. Is that accurate?
that's correct. And you
Okay.
can pull it because I had it on the market. I took it off the market just so they could have a place to live. So,
Okay.
but you know, I have some guests that just showed up, and why don't you do your market? No. Do the market analysis and then get back to me via email.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's perfectly okay. I'll do my market analysis. I'll get back to you via email and maybe follow back up with you via phone next Tuesday. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would be fine. It's Saturday, anytime after probably 11 a.m. If you need to reach me. Okay?
Not a problem, and safe travels.
Oh, thanks so much.
You're so very welcome, and I'm looking forward to speaking and working with you.
Okay, thanks. Now, I have another piece of property in.
Give me the address, please, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Okay, yes. But the minimum that we'll accept on that one is probably 3.7 million.
Okay. And did you have a number in mind for? Go ahead.
For I can't remember when we had it on the market. I think it was at 875. I've got several properties, so I'm just trying to think. I think that one was at 875, but I'll double check.
Okay.
But I don't know why that sounds a little high.
All right. Well, I'll do my due diligence, and then I will reach out, and then we'll talk, and we'll just we'll take it from there.
Okay, great, thanks. The one is on the market at 3.9.
Okay, that one's currently on market.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, safe travels, and I will be in touch next week.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ooh, so what do you think about that call? So let's grade this call. 1 being the lowest call, the worst call you ever heard, 10 being the greatest call you ever heard, and then type of reason on why, okay? Okay, and as you start typing in your reason in here, okay, think about this, okay? Is this lady, let's right? Because sometimes people will say you shouldn't assume, like, yeah, don't never assume, right? Like people say that, but I'm a believer in sales, like you better assume, and not only that, but you better get good at assuming. Why? Because that is kind of like your superpower, like being able to see around the corner before it happens, okay? So what I want you to assume is, what generation is this seller from? Are they what is it called? Gen Z or what? Or a millennial or a Gen X or a boomer? What would you say? Okay, type it in. Okay. And also think about another one I want you to assume is just listening to her, okay? You think she's in money trouble, or she's kind of sloppy with money, or she's sitting on some good money? Yeah, we got some people saying, yeah, she got some bank. Yeah. She's sitting on something, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't like casually, like, yeah, 3.9 million. We got this one. Yeah, we have this one about 875. It was listed, but not anymore. She didn't kind of find out like how long it was listed and why they took it down. And she says, yeah, it's a little overpriced. She didn't ask the question on what. Like if someone gives out a price, okay, this is what you got to always remember. How'd you come up with that price? All right. How'd you come up with that price? Like that should be like your boom, instant response. Like nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh yeah, it's worth that much. Like it just doesn't happen that way. Okay. It doesn't happen. Another one is kind of about rapport building. Okay. Where when someone says, yeah, like, hey, I'm helping out a friend and they moved in because they're going through some financial trouble. Like you should like, at least that's a part to be able to connect, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Like you're a great individual. Like, right? Like you can start talking about that. Yeah, KJ got it. So okay, so let's see what people graded on this, and let me see here. Let's talk to somebody we have not talked with. Man, where'd you go, Missy? Are you still on? You gave the lowest score, I think. Where are you at? Did she have to leave? Maybe. Hold on. I'm not sure what happened here. Let me see here. Okay, so let's go with the next interesting one. Let's see here. Someone who we have not. Peter, actually, you beat Misty. Peter, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good. Hey, Peter. So can you tell the folks what you grade her and why on this call?
Yeah, it was tough. It was between a 3 and a 4, so I said 3.5.
Okay. Now, why'd you give her that, Peter?
Well, I had difficulty in following the conversations between the two, and maybe it's because I can't multitask. I don't know. But there were a lot of opportunities to get more information, but yet the seller was leaving or has to leave and not available as much, and yet she kept on our caller kept on pulling out information, which was good. I just felt that there wasn't enough. It was like, how do we keep going to get more? And I know there was a time consideration. It was just a little difficult for me to follow, as far as grading goes.
Now, Peter, and I know you've dealt with this, so but then for the rest of the folks, I think it's gonna be beneficial. Is Peter, with the people that have well, first off, Peter, what generation is this seller? Millennial, Gen X, Boomer? Like, what would you say?
I would say, I think an older person because of the assets she owns or something, but yet there's confusion on the secrets of like, well, again, helping out, but I can't talk. I don't want to say where I'm going. Instead of saying I'm going on a vacation or something, I'm not telling you where I'm going. So there's a lot of defense there.
Yeah. So definitely she is a boomer. We know that for a fact. And then also another one is for people who have in terms of like money, right? Let's just call it that. Do they show their cards up front?
No.
Never, right? Like they got the money. They got the money because they're smart with it, So you gotta like kind of pry and dig and ask the same question 3, 4, 5 times, So, but Peter, if you were on this call, would you have gotten the appointment?
Yes, I would have.
I know you would. All right, cool. So what? Any questions, Peter? Or something else I can help you out with?
Not at the moment. Good material. I like it.
Cool. Thank you so much. And says, let me know if you guys are enjoying this training, especially for the folks that are hopping on you. And then I'm going to ask you a question, okay? For the folks that are on here. If you're on this call, do you believe that you would have gotten an appointment? Heck yeah. 100%. All day. Give me 100 of these. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All day long. Yeah. You guys will say yes, 100%. Yeah. Okay. And that's really what's possible. Okay. If you understand this. Yeah. Charm her up. She'll meet. Of course. Yeah. So, all right. Next call is called, you called my lady friend. What's this all about? All right. You called my lady friend. What's this all about? Okay. And what I want you to do is the exact same thing like the last one. I want you to imagine yourself as a call center manager. Grade the call on a scale of 1 being the lowest, 10 being the greatest. If you have a pen and paper, like write down notes on the call and what you hear, how you can improve. If you hear something that they said that is good, bad, whatever it is, right? Write them down. Okay. Because it's going to help you out. Got it? So let's play this one. All right. This call is about 2 minutes and 45 seconds long. Okay. So here we go.
Hello? Yeah, can I possibly speak with, I believe it's, hey, how you doing? My name is, how you been? Good. How you doing? Pretty good. My name is, I live here, and I have a lady friend of mine who lives in, and I guess you've been calling her, interested in, I guess, purchasing her house, or it's there on Elizabeth. She's been too busy to, she can't call from work, and by the time she gets home, it's really late traveling from so she wanted me to call you today to find out exactly what this call is all about. It's about you purchasing properties there on.
Yeah, man. So just to give you a brief thing about me, I do buy some houses out in the Pine area. That's where I live. I've been doing that for about 10 years now. That's how I feed my family. And I like that area. And so I pick a certain area that I like, and then I try to reach out to homeowners and see if they have any interest or need to sell. And if they do, I try to work something out to help them out.
Oh, cool. Now, what about did you get involved in purchasing properties in Burbank?
I just made an offer in Burbank about a week ago, and when you called me coming from Bedford right now, I was like, wait a minute, what's this? I thought it was related. So yeah, I would.
Oh no. My twin brother and I.
Did you guys hear this one last week too?
I own a home here.
Right on.
We're thinking of we're thinking of selling and moving on. I'm retired now. My brother could be probably working 2 more years, but we don't want to wait 2 years to sell a house. We want to try to sell it, and pocket some money, maybe buy a place that we don't know yet, or in the desert area. But we kind of want to. So maybe you and I can talk in the future also.
Sure.
But anyway,
I can talk to you about buying yours and talk to her about buying hers, man. This is what I do. So I'll talk to both you guys, and we can do both if that's what it comes if that works.
Okay. Do you want me to give you her address, or do you prefer that she gives you a call? How do you want to do this?
Sure. Well, here, hold on. Let me.
Let me give you her address.
Yeah, as I say, let me. What's her address?
You want to call me back? Are you busy?
Well, I'm driving right now. I'm on
why don't you go
the freeway, right?
Yeah, well, I don't want you to talk and drive. You have my cell number. This is it. And just give me a call when you're off to the road, off to the side. I'm going to be here the rest of the day. I have my phone. Give me a buzz and then we'll talk.
All right, Robert. I'll give you a call. We'll talk about her place, and then maybe we talk a little bit more about yours as well.
You got it. Hey, enjoy the day, man. Talk to you in a bit.
Thanks, Robert. Talk to you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, you should see the comments that are coming in. All right, so let's do what we do. Let's grade the call, okay? 1 being the worst call you ever heard, 10 being the greatest call you ever heard, and then type in how he can improve, okay? Yeah. All right. And I want you to consider this when you hear that, okay? When you heard that, ask yourself, if I take that call, are you closing that deal? Okay? Are you closing that deal? Okay? You think you're going to get something out of that? Okay? Ask yourself that. Type in yes if you think that. He says, like, give me all those all day long. I see that. Yeah. Now, another thing I want you to consider as you're typing in your responses, okay? Where we talked about being assumptive, right? Assuming, okay? Some weird thing about, as kids were growing up, like, I don't know if your parents ever told you this, but they'll be like, you shouldn't assume, okay? You shouldn't assume that, blah, 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 blah. It's terrible. I think in sales, you should assume. Why? Okay? Because it's going to help you. Now, what did you notice about, they're all different people taking the calls. Have you noticed that, right? We have male, we have female, right? Different styles, different cadence. Some people are calling as agents, some people are calling as investors, right? But what have you noticed in like the last 2? Okay? Think about that for a second. Are they a millennial, Gen X, or a boomer? What do the guys say? Okay? Think about that. Okay? So let me see here. Let's talk to someone that we have not spoken with, and let's see here. Where are you at? Actually, Matt, Kyle, are you on? Hold on. Let's see. Can you talk, Kyle? Let me know. Kyle, are you on? Kyle, say hi to everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, say hi to everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Kyle. Sorry to put you on the spot here. Now, did you listen to the call? Because I saw like you were kind of paying attention or not paying attention. That's what it said in the attentiveness.
Yeah, so I've been on the call, but I've actually been responding to calls. I did a drop right before we got on, so kind of
Okay.
back and forth.
Okay. Okay. Now I read some of the notes on the like a student profile because we do the weekly one. Okay, and I know you run into some kind of a challenge in your business. Can you
Yeah.
explain to the people what's been happening running these campaigns?
Yeah, for example, like the one that I just finished up right now, I'm doing a money out of the market campaign,
Yeah.
and I'm just I did the append with you guys, and got a really good list. So this particular one, when I put in all the numbers for a particular zip code, I
Yeah.
had what was it, 154 voicemails go through,
Mhm.
and let me just pull it up since I got it right here.
Mhm.
I'm using a tracking number. I use CallRail
That's
for my
good.
tracking number. Let me just pull it up and let you know what today got us. So, I mean, the end result is I got 5 appointments off of that call. We did 154 voicemail drops, and then what do we got? We had 22 calls and 3 texts come in so far, and we just did that a little bit ago, about maybe hour and a half ago.
Okay. Now let me
So,
make sure I heard this right. You did
yep,
154 and then you got 5 appointments out of it?
yep.
Okay. And because the notes I saw is that you're running into issue. Now, here, let me ask this question, Kyle. Do you have a lead generation problem?
No, not at all.
Right? So if someone else asked you, says, "Hey, Kyle, do you have a lead generation problem?" Your flat out answer will be what?
No.
Absolutely not. Okay. Now, so out of those, right? How many deals you got in the pipeline now?
Right now, we just started with the new appended data that we got from last month, and we got sidetracked a little bit, but the last 2 weeks we've been really hustling that list.
That's good.
And I think right now we've gone on 22 appointments, just off of a couple of voicemail drops that we did. I've put out 4 offers on for cash offers, and we also picked up 3 new listings on the real estate side of things for listings.
Cool. Now, what's the volume wise on give me the aggregate amount, like 3 listings? Like you're talking about like $1 million on that, or?
Well, the one property itself is about 800,000, and then the other 2 are in the 350 range
Mhm.
on the listings. So a
Like
little
1.5.
over, about 1.2.
The 1.2, yeah, that's not bad. And then the 4 offers you made because you're an investor buyer, the 4 offers. Are you planning to rehab those or wholesale those?
Looking at wholesale right now.
Okay.
I just don't have the bandwidth to take on some projects right now, but I definitely love going after deals and then working with my other investors and just selling them out to them.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Now, so if someone else asks you, right, and this is kind of like I want people to hear this, right? So Kyle, like when you first started this, and I know we talked over the phone at first, right? And we've
Yeah.
talked a couple times. Now, did you think that this was gonna work out like this?
I did not think it was going to work like this. I ran into the issue where I started, dropping the voicemails, and I got into the situation where I was just getting overwhelmed with the number of people.
Mhm.
And that's what over the last month I've been focusing on, is not just the lead generation part of it's like super easy.
Yeah.
You just stick to the system. It's very
Yeah.
simple. Don't change it. I use the scripts as they are. The big thing is just what do you do when you get those in? It's very exciting to have all these conversations, but if you don't have that back end follow up, it gets very difficult, especially when you're managing, so many leads coming in. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been working on, and my biggest kind of, I would say hiccup at this point was just not being prepared with the number of leads that were coming in and how to service all of those.
Yeah. Now, Kyle, like let's like be honest, right? Like if you have to grade yourself on your right, because earlier when we started this trade, I said you don't have a lead generation problem, you have a conversion follow up problem, right?
Right.
What would you grade yourself on the follow up and conversion, like on a scale of 1 through 10?
Up until the last, week and a half, I would grade myself probably like a 2 or 3. I just like it got to the point where I was talking, I didn't manage them properly. I got to take responsibility for what I'm not doing, not just what I am doing. So yeah, I would grade myself 3 on the high end. So the big thing is just get yourself organized, and if you're doing the system right, that back end part of it's really crucial, because if you're not following up properly with these people, you're just going to be spending a lot of money on people that are really excited about moving forward. And, if you're not there to service them or take care of them when you need it, you're going to lose those people.
Yeah, correct. But still, even with that, you grade yourself a 2. You got 4 offers out, 3 listings. And then that's in a course of how many weeks?
That is over that span to get the listings and the offers out there was 2.5 weeks, the last 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And the reason why I grade myself so low is because, it's nice. I would say on average, I'm getting about a 12 to 15% response rate. And I did some pretty big lists at the beginning. So, of that beginning part, I probably talked to a good, 150, 200 people, and I was just letting them all slip through the cracks because I just kept answering phone calls, and then, it was great, but I didn't have anything to follow up with.
Yeah, but you pivot and you made the adjustments, and then boom, now you found the cadence with the current skill sets that you have, and then you're developing newer skill sets, and you're going out making offers, making things happen. So I love hearing that. What advice you got for someone that's on here that's kind of on the fence and thinking about it, and give some maybe insight on I know you have some experience on data pending too, so give some, like, especially like our tech team or customer support, if you can give some insight on that, that'd be super cool.
Yeah, the tech team has been really good. I mean, not good, they've been great. They've actually called me out of the blue even when I didn't even need any help, just to see if I had any questions, needed help, finding some lists, different things like that. So they've been really good. And I wasn't even doing the money out of the market campaign. It was a recommendation from you guys over at the tech department. So they've been very helpful, and the system works. I mean, the lead generation with this system is extremely easy. The one thing that I would say is I did the voicemails, and I got to the point where I felt really natural. I practiced the script before I did it and just made it my own and made it very natural. The way that I was talking, I make a lot of mistakes, and I don't delete that. I keep it. So keep it natural when people are getting these voicemails. Don't make it sound like, a commercial, because we've done a few to where we got 0 response, and then we changed the recording up and made it more, more appealing to those same people, and we got 20 or 30 people to call us back just from the message.
Okay, so super cool. Well, thank you so much. Anything else I can help you out with, Kyle, right now, since you got me on the line?
No, we're good. I did my lunchtime voicemail drop. I'm doing another one here at 4:30. So my goal today is we set the appointments today. I'm hoping to set another 5 to 6 appointments before the day ends. So, my goal is using this every time I do it, to get at least 10 appointments.
Yeah. Now here, I got a last kind of question before I let you go, right?
Yep.
Do you think, like, are you in the red ocean or the blue ocean? Like red ocean where you're competing with everyone you're talking to, or is no one actually working these people?
You know what? I feel like at this point I'm in the red ocean. I don't feel like I have any competition because the people that I'm calling with this money out of the market campaign, They don't even know that they want to sell until they got my message.
Yeah, so you're in the blue ocean, not red, right? The blue ocean. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm the first one in the door, which gives me a great competitive edge. At least I feel that way because, you know, I'm the first person that even really got them thinking about moving forward. So
yeah,
if I can lock the deal down before they even start thinking about it more, it gives me a big advantage.
huge one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thank you so much, Kyle, for a contribution. Everyone says congrats, Kyle. Keep working at it. You'll get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute you there. And what I want you to like that's like unexpected. Like I didn't know Kyle was running the campaigns for like I legitimately wanted to because I remember I reviewed the student profile at the end of the week and then I saw that and I was like, okay, good. You know, so that's what's possible, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm not telling you that, someone else is saying that. And then the big one you have to be aware of, you have to be self-aware. Okay. To some of you guys and gals, you'll be like, dang, what Kyle did in 2 weeks of getting 3 listings and 4 offers out, you'll be like, dang, and that's 1.2 million. Okay. You might be like, whoa, like that's great. And then be like, yeah, and you grade yourself all high and mighty. But Kyle knows to say, hey, there's so much potential in this, right? And this is the reason why I tell people is just this, you have to see the opportunity, run with it, and then double down, triple down, quadruple down. And when you have that actual data that append, like Kyle said, right, nobody else he's talking to, right? Like you hear him, blue ocean, okay? He's not competing with anyone else. He's first in line. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It really is, okay? I just said, yeah, IT said called him because he was using tier 2 data and follow up for the research purposes. Okay, yeah, there we go. I wasn't sure about that. Yeah, so and what other questions? Yeah, so Janet said, what campaign is he running? He's running Get the Money Out of the Market campaign. Okay, so here we go. Now we've been going on for a while now. I might skip this one. I wanted to cover something else. Okay, that you might be interested in. So we might have to extend this to part 3. Okay, but I have this. Would this interest you? Okay, which is a new thing. Okay, so imagine this, right? You heard calls of people talking to sellers, right? And I asked the question for you guys and said, okay, would you get the appointment? Literally all of you guys said, yes, I'll get the appointment. All right. Now, I don't know if you guys and gals do this or not, but who in here, when you go on seller appointments, record your call? Okay. Who goes on seller appointments and records your call? So that way you can coach yourself up and see how you're doing and how you can improve. Let me know in the chat box. Does anyone else do this? Never did. I have. Okay, good. We got some people that said, okay, I have, kind of, sort of. Okay. Now, I am going to, hold on, where is it at? I'm going to, hold on here. Let me pull this up. Okay. We have literally recordings of that, of our team. Would you be interested in like mixing that into some of the training? Like, I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I'm asking that question because one person asked and then I was just like, I'm not even sure if you guys know, like we do this with our private clients and stuff like that, where they'll come by like the office and, you know, we'll listen to stuff and we'll train people. But would that interest you? Like hearing like literally like sit downs of calls with like, yeah. Okay. So I wish I had more time, but I'll give you kind of a glimpse of this. Okay. So you can get a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Carl said, yeah, record. Yeah. Not really very painful listening to it. Barb says, show me how to pull data from the MLS. We can definitely show. Yeah. Which one do you rather see? So I'll leave it up to you. Then I'm going to open up like to Q&A. Yeah. You rather see me pull like raw data through the MLS, like through Realist or something like that? Or would you rather hear kind of what happens once you go on these appointments? It's totally up to you. Like we'll vote on it. Yeah, we'll vote on it. Like, said both. Yeah. So type in type in 1 if it's MLS data pool. Type in 2 if it's the appointment call, and type in 3 if it's both. Yeah. or just type both, I guess. Yeah, type both if you want to do that. I don't know if we got time for both, but yeah, I don't know if we got time for both, but all right, so let's mix it up. Okay, so I'm gonna throw in real quick. All right, so public records. I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay. So do you guys and gals know how to get here? Like, do you guys and gals know how to get here? Like, realist? Like, do you guys at least know how to get here? Like, let me know in the chat box. Like, through the MLS. Like, that's something that looks like this remotely. Let me know. Yeah, please. Like, you should be able to get through here. Okay. Now, there's some people, depending on what state you're in, you might have something called like IMAP. Okay. Like if you have issues on this, our customer support team can help you pull it out. Okay. Like there, and here's the reason why, right? Like Kyle said, like our customer support team is really good, is because they run my campaigns, right? And then they run our private clients campaigns. That is the reason why. All right. And so they have inherently more data and more information and on what's working, what's not. They got more pulse on it. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's why I tell individuals, like, if you have any type of data or being able to create your own blue ocean where you're not competing with everyone else and calling the same people, right? Like, just hit them up, like, like at least, and some of you guys and gals haven't even picked up the phone and called them. So that's a shame. Okay. Okay, so you want to get to this area, and where you want to go is there's a section right here where it says edit attributes. Okay, edit attributes. You guys see this where it says bound here at the bottom left? It says edit attributes. KJ says RMLS. Yeah, this is not the MLS, but you should have access to this or IMAP. There's only like literally two. Yeah, it just, KJ, you just might not have looked. You may want to hit up our tech team and they might be able to discover some stuff. Okay, and you can find a bunch of information on here, right? Like all this is kind of the standard stuff that they have the information on. But they have information like lender loan amount, right? Low, I don't know if you guys know this or not, that you can put that. Look at that, foreclosure distress sales, foreclosure case number, foreclosure stage, right? Like you can literally pull this all through here. Yeah. Yeah, and IT said this: send email with the first with the MLS name, and they'll be able to research for you if you can pull it or cannot pull it. Okay. Yeah. Carl said I will call them, but I have a title guide that has an app that I can pull the data. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So if you know, so if you already know how to pull raw data, it's great. Okay. Okay. But if you don't know, just know that you do have access to this. All right. Many of you guys and gals are already paying for it. Look at the sales information. Heck, you can even see the deed type, right? Okay. How about this one, right? People are like campaigns like, oh, how do I find buyers, right? Like if you're in a heavy investor market and you want to wholesale or you want to relist like properties that are already fixed up, right? Because those are easy to sell. Number one, why? Because homes are fixed up. And then number two, what? There's no one living there. Okay, so it's easier to sell than trying to sell a home that you have to physically show. Okay, so how do you do that? You can even do like a deed type. Okay, so if you know anything about like non-judicial foreclosing state, when a property sells to a third party after a notice of trustee is what? They record something called a trustee's deed. So you can just simply search all the trustee's deed that's been recorded in the last 30 days. Okay, because you have the sale date on here that you can do, and then guess what? Bump it up against, hey, is it a bank name or is it an LLC or an individual? And then from there, you can append that data, and then boom, you got bona fide cash buyers that are doing that that property is going to go up for sale probably in the next 30 days. Did that make sense? Let me know. Like that's powerful stuff. Okay. Listing information. You want to bump your data up against that you pull. Is it listed or not listed, right? You can actually pull that information. All right, current listing price. You can boom the sale date, right? You can pull all of that stuff. IT said Carl's data is very clean. We love her. That's what they said. Tech can tell you what to ask from the title as well. Yeah, so tech team can ask you as well. Okay, and remember what we talked about? The boomers, right? That have 2-story homes that they want to actually empty nesters that they want to downsize to single family home. Guess what? Stories. All right, you can click on this. Okay, they can click on this. Okay, is this helping? Let me know. Now, here's another one. Remember we talked about CFDs. All right, where bonds are, right? CFDs, Belarus, right? Expiring. Bonds are what? Typically 20 to 30 years. So if you have an area that's like 19 year, guess what? You have a reason to hit these people up. Like, how great would a seller feel if their Belarus is expiring, CFD is expiring, and their property tax is going to drop? And that's your opening line. Like, you're bringing genuine value to someone. How do you do that? Boom. This section right here, location information, right? You can put in all the information based on this, based on the school district, right? Is light bulbs going off? Let me know. Like this, I'm trying to give you guys multiple ideas and campaigns on what you can do to create that blue ocean. All right. You know that a school district is really hot, okay? Because, you know, if you cross the street, you go to a shitty school district versus this school district. How do you pull a list on just marketing for that? Boom, there it is. All right. And one of the things that you want to pay attention to is that each and every one of you who have access to this, okay, there's a monthly allowance for export. Okay, I'll say it again. Monthly allowance of export, meaning that the dues that you pay covers the amount of data that you can export. All right, meaning that you shouldn't be paying for raw data to create your blue ocean. Okay, unless it's like phase 4 stuff, and then yeah, you can pay, but I still wouldn't recommend it. For most individuals, I would say, hey, pull the raw data. Because you rather get more data of tier 1 data, better numbers. Okay. And what you can do is you can simply just export it. All right. So you can hit all this, right? Owner's information, same thing, right? Mailing address, mailing street, owner's last name, owner occupied, right? Like you can click off this. Like I recommend individuals, right? Like if you don't know, just like literally click the whole thing off. Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like that would be the best thing that you can possibly do. Like you remember like foreclosures are in here as well, the information. So you can hit the apply button and then boom. Oopsie, my internet's going slow. Okay. And then once you do that, you're like, ooh, yeah. Okay. So now with that being said, like you can pick a location. All right. Like for example, I'll pick, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of running slow. All right. And I picked where our office is. We're in Temecula. Okay. So I put that, and you see this, it says, what? More than 1,000 results exist for this search. So now you have to show the first 1,000, but then there it is. Okay. So you can export this very simply. Okay. You can export all this. Now it's loading because I got this running and we're doing the training. Okay. And then you have the criteria on. You can overlay a bunch of different stuff on here if you want. Okay, so let's just say you want to do something like get your money out of the market campaign, or you know, right? You guys interested in actually seeing that? Like, hey, get your money out of the market campaign? Let me know. Cool. Okay, I will put that. Okay. So I would do something like this, like. So I put in right here where it says recording date, right? I put in what, January 1st, 2010 to December 30th, 2015. Why? Because if you bought any time during that time, those 5 years, right, you're going to have some equity in there. Okay. Now, what some people will do is, like, you see how like it caps off, right? Well, what some people will do is they'll put the dates in there from, like, hey, they'll do everything in 2010 in this zip code or this city, or everything in 2011 in this state or this zip code, right? And if you want, you can just export the results right now with that, right, list. And then you send that list to like our tech team, and they can actually edit it for you. okay, and find the actual best campaign. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine this a little bit more, and then I'm going to go to the section where it says owner occupied, right? So do you guys see this? Scroll down to the bottom. Is there delay? Let me know if there's a delay in the screen, so that way I'm not going too fast, because someone said you're going way too fast, Jeff. Yeah. So remember, I clicked on edit attributes and I added this attribute. Okay. I edit this attribute, and then it says owner occupied. Yes. Right. And then you can hit search. And it'll do that little spinning wheel, and it's going to pull the list. And see, one of the most challenging things, I would say, it's challenging if you have never done it. It's really easy, like for someone that does this like on an everyday basis, right? For our business and our clients, is that, you know, it says more results, more than results. So you're just like, well, what do I do? Well, it's easy. You just go here and just pull them all up. Okay. Now, you can just simply just click on this and click on the export button, and you'll be able to export this very fast. All right. And that's what they can help you out with. All right. So again, I wanted to show you what's possible on being able to do this, because some people are like, well, where did I get the raw data? Yes, hit up the title company. They just should give it to you. They shouldn't charge you a fee. Now, if you have access to this, Realist or IMAP, they can pull it for you. Okay. You can do all kinds of stuff. Okay. Hit up WeCare at realestatestrategylab.net. realestatestrategylab.net, and they can pull the actual information for you. Cool? Yeah. Go wide and narrow down with Excel. I'll say it again. Go wide and narrow down with Excel. Okay? Go wide then narrow down. Okay? Don't like try to put your filters on it with all kinds of stuff, and then you're wondering like, oh yeah, what happened? You know, like, oh my gosh, I started off with 1,000. Now my list, because I narrowed it down, it's down to 50. No. Start with, like, remember earlier I gave you the story about the guy who just took like a whole city and had 15,000 records of owner occupied and pulled it, and our tech team kind of chopped it up and helped him clean it up. Okay, and that's what's possible. Yeah. And if you're in California, we have a lot of tools and resources. So hit us up too. Especially if you're doing, like, I know we have some couple commercial brokers and lenders as well in here. So if you're interested in that, we have access to CoStar and stuff like that. If you don't know what CoStar is, it's like a commercial real estate MLS specifically for that. So we work that. We've always worked that, for our stuff. So we can help you out with that as well. Okay. And I'm getting towards almost like to the halfway point. So I want to make sure that I open it up to Q&A and talk about something that, because of where we're currently at in the marketplace, I want to make sure that you guys and gals are aware of this. Okay. It's very important to be aware of this. And we'll talk, and next week, maybe we'll listen to the actual appointment calls. Okay. Is this strategy for mid Q1? Okay. Why? Because we are what? Already past the almost the midpoint of Q1 of 2019. Okay. And you have to, like, once, like, someone like Kyle who gets, like, hey, with the leads, right? He gets some deals in the pipeline, right? Now it's just stack, right? Build reserve, build the cash, build the war chest, right? And start building that, because then at that time it becomes easier to be able to then outsource to somebody else, hire someone, right? Hire an A player. Okay. It becomes so much easier. So Hector said it right. Don't let off. Yeah. Pedal to the metal. Okay. Wanda, actually give me some updates on what's been going on. I know last time we talked, and you were kind of like, ooh, so give me some updates on what's been happening. But the point is don't let off. Okay. And you have to have strategy. So I'm going to talk about kind of like the blue ocean in the numbers game, right? Is that once you discover kind of your blue ocean that's working, right? You run multiple campaigns, find what's working for you, then what? You double down, triple down, quadruple down. And this is an old screenshot, but here's some of the, like, private clients and data that we've been appending. Okay. These are kind of the ratio and the number of records, right? 8,200, 6,200, 13,000, 29,000, right? 18,000, 27,000. These are the amount of records of data pending. Okay. And then here's a screenshot of one of the agents who take calls. And you can see here, this has what? 100,000 records of data that's been appended and he's working on in our local marketplace. All right. Now, when people talk about, hey, numbers game, Okay. Have you ever heard your like a broker talk about that, or maybe some other, coach or whatever it is? They'll be like, numbers game, smile and dial, baby, numbers game, numbers game, numbers game, numbers game. Okay. The numbers game that people are playing with here that are crushing it is different than most people's numbers game. Right. And that is the reason why they don't have a lead generation problem. If you understand data appending, because that's the game changer. Okay. You have a conversion follow problem, which is a great problem to have. Okay. And that's what I want you to really focus on. And again, I'm not ask your accountant. Okay. But, for many of you guys and gals are paying quarterly taxes, right? And so we're in the middle of Q1. So when you come up to your quarterly taxes, if you're making profits, right, expense stuff up in marketing and double down, double down, double down. All right. And especially data in phase 1 and phase 2. Right. If you think about this, right, phase 1 and phase 2, like get your money out of the market campaign, right? Like these people are like phase 1, phase 2 leads. Nobody's talking to them. So even if you spend and invest the money for data pending today, right, and they decide not to sell, but you planted that seed, all you got to do is follow up, because that number is still good. And it's only going to cost you what? Pennies to actually market to them. So if you have to pay quarterly taxes of, like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $100,000 plus, you rather spend or AKA invest in marketing or pending data instead. That's how you get to the next level. That's how you grow, right? Because once you have that, like someone like Kyle, right? Like once your cash flow, you got your reserve pumping up, right? Remember, tier 1's the key, okay? Tier 1. But once you have that, it's so much easier to recruit people. So much easier to be like, hey, I need your help, okay? And that's the whole point of this. Okay, so let's open up Q&A and let me know, did you get value out of today's training? Are you enjoying this? Let me know in the chat box what you're liking. And at the end of this training, if you have to exit and stuff like that, there is a survey. Please give me your honest feedback on that. That's kind of my fuel that I use to making sure that we continue to deliver the best training in the industry. Before we never, and here's the reason why, right? Before we never did these, like listening to the calls, until someone says, hey, can I actually hear, like, and I was like, oh, okay. And it just dawned on me. I'm just like, we've been recording for like years, and it's kind of like, let's put it in. Okay. All right. The survey will drive the topics. Okay. The survey will drive the topics. And that's why I say these are supplemental trainings. These are the bonus trainings that you guys and gals get. Okay. Hank said tier 1 only, 100% agree. Sasha said, can I have an application? Did I miss the beta testing for the month of February? The answer is yes, you did miss it, but we will do it again in March. Okay, so if you don't have an application, seems like you do not have an application, please email us at WeCare@realestatestrategylab.net. .net. We are looking for a beta tester for our data, and really honest feedback, and really you've heard it over and over with our tech team and our support team, that we go above and beyond making sure that you guys get the results that you're looking for. And so if you haven't picked up the phone and call them. If you have a strategy question, hit me up. I'll help you out. But you need to get your application in. Yeah, that's the way I can say. Yeah. So hold on, Wanda. Hold on. Where are you at, Wanda? You got to give me some updates on this. So hold on. Thank you so much for typing that in. Wanda, are you there?
I am.
Say hi to everybody.
I just turned my speaker down.
Yes.
I am. Things are going great. Really busy. I had 3 listing presentations as a result of calls in like the last 7 days. I listed 2 of the houses. One price point's $3,099. The other one's $250. The one I lost was like $779. But the reason I lost it is because his company referred him through their relocations. He's moving. And so he went through his relocations company, and it was a different company. But it was great. It's been great. Went to a closing today as a result of one of the calls. It was on the market, sold in 3 days, closed in 25. We're closing today, so things are great.
How much you're making off that? What's your commission?
Hello?
Yeah.
Did you hear me? I'm sorry. I had my earplug in and I couldn't hear you.
No, I was asking like, because what I heard was you have a closing today.
I did.
Okay. And then so I asked, how much did you make today?
It was a $186,000 house sold. Well, actually, the first agent that showed it sold it, but technically it was 3 days when we got the paperwork wrapped up, and it closed in 25 days.
Okay.
I had to do nothing. It was great.
Yes. Okay. That's good. So that's like what, like $3-4 grand you made on that?
Oh yeah. It was 48 for me. Yeah.
Okay. 48. That's really good. Okay. Now, what about the other one, that referral one that you did? How's that coming along?
Well, it's kind of bogged down a little bit.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think that he's kind of backing off a little bit because he's they're still working together. It's just that he's decided he's not going to retire as quickly as he thought he would. He's thinking that maybe he'll wait a little while. So he doesn't have it on the market yet, but they are talking. They're still talking.
I'm waiting for that one for you, because that one's, the referral fee alone was like almost 60-70 grand.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. And I have people that are getting their houses ready right now. I have 3 that should be coming on the market in March. 3 as a result of the calls.
And Wanda, can you tell the folks again? I know you said this before, but like, what do you like? You've appended data with us, so the quality of the data, the tier 1, like, that's. Can you tell how amazing it is? Like, instead of me saying it.
Oh yes. And what I'm doing is I'm not even answering the phone. I am just returning the calls that people actually leave me a voicemail or they text. And now I have started back because I had so many missed calls. We have just started back following up with those people. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is really get organized and, make sure that, I haven't missed anybody. I have an appointment to in 2 weeks from a person that called me in like December, and I had missed her call, and I just, apologized. I said, I'm sorry. I don't know how I missed this call because it said we were interested, blah, blah. But I had appended a lot of data. I'd got a lot of phone calls, and I was just trying to handle them by myself, and I missed out. So I'm going back and apologizing. And she said, that is not a problem. That's great. We're out of town. We're on vacation for 2 weeks, but we would love to sit with you when we get back.
That's beautiful.
One thing that I am doing that's a little different is I've got some people helping me put together information. So when I call these people that actually left me messages, I know information about their house. I know what they bought it for. I know what it would sell for today. I know their market. I can talk to them about the activity. So I think that's been good for me.
That's great. Now there's a couple stuff, Wanda, because I love it. The fact that you got 3 listing presentations in the last 7 days, that's great. You're working. A couple things is do you take the calls when you follow? I'm sorry, let me reframe the question. When you follow up with the actual people who leave a message, do you call from your cell phone or a different line?
I'm calling from my cell phone.
Okay. Now, with this cell phone, is this specifically a marketing cell phone, or the calls from your signs and other stuff go into that same cell phone?
Everything goes into that cell phone.
Even like your friends?
Yes.
Okay. You might want to, just if you're open to it, is simply get for this type of campaign follow up with a new cell phone. It can be the exact same model. Okay. And that might allow you to segregate the difference from sign calls from the signs versus the one that you're doing the inbound follow up, and they're kind of prospects.
Oh yeah, because I have missed some calls because I said, well, that's somebody calling me from the drop calls. That's what I'm calling them, drop calls. And then it would be somebody that that I really should have talked to, but I didn't because I thought it was somebody from the drop calls.
Yeah.
And one reason that I started just getting messages is because when I tried to answer my phone from the calls, it was just, I couldn't talk to people for people trying to beep in. So it was good to
Yeah.
hear, to talk about, maybe dropping one at 12, dropping one at 2, one at 4, spacing them out a little bit, then maybe I could start answering them.
Yeah.
And I would probably have more success.
Yeah. Now,
I mean,
found your
this is
cadence.
by
That's the
far
goal.
the best investment I have ever made, by far.
Can you say that again, please, Wanda?
This is by far the best investment I have ever made, and I've been selling real estate for 30 years.
Thank you. That makes me feel good. And then what about our customer support team?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay. Thank you so much, Wanda. I'm gonna mute you here. Okay. All right. So a couple things, feedback from our team. It says for anyone else that's listening, right, where I gave the suggestion of a other phone, right? Like it's not necessary, okay, but it's optional. Okay. But the goal is, if you haven't run a campaign, it's to sprint to your first campaign, because you don't know the power. And the sprint to your first campaign, please be aware that it's like literally night and day when you use tier 3 data and tier 1 data. All right. If you're using some stuff from like internet, stuff like on white pages, no, this is credit header data. Okay. So it's the best data. So the contact ratio is like night and day. And that's what you want to do. So if you go through the training where we talk about tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, this is the reason why we push that. Right. So what other questions you guys and gals have? Let's see here. Thank you so much. And for whatever reason, if I did not answer your question, it's not like I'm not trying to like avoid you or anything, like avoid your question. Okay. Just know that, I'm trying to answer all the questions, and like, people will chime in. They're like, congrats, Wanda. Congrats. This is a cool one. Kyle and Wanda should compete on who can get the most deals in the next 60 days. Actually, that'd be pretty interesting. We might do some like challenges like that. Actually, yeah. That's fun. Yeah. He said Jeff should give out money to do forever winner. Actually, that's a suggestion. Put that in the survey. So all right, cool. So the recording will be available within 24, 48 hours. This is part 2 of the actual live call recordings. Okay, so listen to last week ones where we covered, and then next week we're going to cover some more calls. And it's about this week. I want you to focus on is really creating your own ocean. Okay, because our industry, especially for the folks who've been around, you guys and gals know that it's changing. Not only is it changing, but it's changing fast. Okay. And Wanda's been in the business, 30 years. I started in 2004. So she's been in the game a lot longer than I have. So I'm sure she has seen changes more than I have. And, what's amazing to me is the people that are changing as technology changes, as the market is shifting, is the one that's staying ahead. I remember telling this to my nephew. He lives with us. He's in 3rd grade, and he's a smart kid. We try not to tell him that he's smart. We say he's a fast learner, right? That's kind of the language we have at our house. Like, he's 8 years old. We never call him smart. We just say, you're a fast learner, because I don't want him to ever feel that I'm the smartest, right? So we just say, hey, you're a fast learner. You can learn stuff fast, okay? And we started getting into a conversation about change, right? And so I told them, like, change inherently, like, even if you just look at the cellular level, it's changing. Your cells are moving, it's dividing, it's moving. And so if you are not changing and reinventing yourself every quarter, every 2 quarters, every year, right? Meaning like learning a new skill set, doing something new, then guess what? Your competition is changing. And by that, you simply are being dragged down. Okay, so by you being on this training, obviously hearing my voice, being on this training, I know you're open to change, and that's what you guys are doing, and the folks that are doing it, you guys are getting the results. Okay, so go out there, dominate humbly, and if you have any questions whatsoever, strategy question, hit me up, and if you have any technical questions, pick up the phone. Yeah, pick up the phone and call our support team. You might be surprised on how helpful they are. Okay. Don't be just a wallflower. Okay. On there just consuming the information. Let's go out there, get a campaign rocking and rolling, let's scale a campaign. Let's make sure that you double your business, triple your business, quadruple your business this year. And so that way I can fly out to your guys' area, maybe do an interview with you, and you can tell me how how your business has transformed in 12 months. Okay. So that's what I got. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care, and we will chit chat soon. Bye-bye.